something ding. Oh,
Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday Tea Time for St Andrews Golf Magazine. This week I'm joined by Les Bailey of Pro Golf Now, and we'll be discussing various topics relating to the PGA Tour, the European Tour and the Ryder Cup, reviewing last week's action in New York and the Czech Republic, and looking ahead to the second playoff event in Boston, as well as the final qualifying tournament of the European team for the Ryder Cup in Italy. We'll
actually, that was New Jersey instead of New York.
Okay, New Jersey. Is it not the New York metropolitan area?
It is. It is that. I mean, you can see the Statue of Liberty from the golf course, I think.
Exactly. Anyway, we'll start by talking about Tiger Woods and a decision which we've all thought could happen or recommended happening, and he made it this week due to the fact that he's not going to play in another tournament until December. He has parted company with Sean Foley, and your just immediate reaction to that decision, Les?
Well, I got the I played golf, by the way, this morning, and I had my iPhone at the golf course, and I got that message, and I got also got the message that Butch Harmon is not interested in coaching Tiger again. But I don't know if that's posturing or, a ploy to just maybe make a little more money on the deal. But I find it strange. Here we are. We've got a new champion in Hunter Mahan. We got the FedEx Cup underway. We got all kinds of exciting things going on. What are we doing? We're talking about Tiger Woods, who isn't even there and isn't even playing. And but yeah, it was time for him to switch.
Well, it's a big topic for many reasons, and Tiger obviously having the year he's had, and it really has been a non-starter the whole year, and the injuries, the various injuries he's had, another back problem, and rehabbing that, and I think it's just right decision for all concerned. They showed a stat on TV yesterday that he'd won 8 PGA Tour events with Sean Foley. Well, he's won 8 PGA Tour events in 4 years with Sean Foley. So when you look at what he did with Butch and what he did with Hank, he was winning 8 a year.
Yeah, but you have to admit that Sean Foley got a very damaged piece of goods to work with.
Yes, yeah, very much so. I wouldn't blame Sean Foley at all. It's the fact that Tiger needs maybe doesn't even need a coach. A lot of people have said this, that perhaps he's overcoached, and perhaps he should just go back to enjoying playing golf, the natural talent he has, and see where it gets him, and that could be the way forward.
Well, I kind of agree with that, but I think that I think one of the reasons that him and Butch Harmon broke up was Tiger wanted to make changes, and Butch didn't think that changes were necessary. And I kind of have to agree with that. I mean, the guy was winning everything in sight, and he decides to change his golf swing.
Yeah.
That's the old. If it's not broke, why are you trying to fix it?
Exactly. We've had this discussion about other players as well, and it certainly hasn't done, say, Padre Harrington any good, or several other players we can think of.
But then you look at Ricky Fowler and look what kind of a season he had with the right kind of coaching, Yeah. So I don't know.
I think it does. It is important, but I think at this level, and this is a guy that's so experienced now, and it maybe something different, something completely fresh, would be a good idea to just sit back and see where it gets him for a few months, and then if he feels like he needs the help of a Butch Harmon, he should go back. But I don't think that will happen.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I have to think that, Ben Hogan said years ago that, or I guess maybe it was Bobby Jones said that, golf is played on approximately 264 acres, but the main part of the game is played in the 5 inches between your ears. And, as something that struck me funny is I watched Tiger and Rory on the Jimmy Fallon show the other night, And Tiger looked like he was having fun.
Yeah.
You know, and he looked like he was enjoying himself. He was, you know, in a good frame of mind. And I've often wondered what would happen if he got to the golf course with that frame of mind instead of being so intense. I mean, the guy has won what 89 or 79 golf tournaments. He's won 14 majors. You know, come to the golf course and just enjoy it. And
Yeah,
let's see what
I
happens.
definitely think so. You know, you look back to the Tiger of '96, of '94, '95. He was having fun.
Yeah.
Okay, and yes, he was intense, but he was having fun, and he was relaxed with the media. He wasn't so protective or guarded, and I think that is a good thing, and it would benefit him to just relax and realize that his natural talent is the best we've ever seen. So
yeah, I mean, what's wrong with, you know, even today, you know, not this year, but like last year. I mean, he was damaged goods last year, but I mean, he won 5 tournaments, you know.
Yeah.
And an 80% Tiger Woods is better than most people on the golf tour, you know.
Yeah. Oh, without question. So, but he'll find out what to do. I'm sure. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people putting their hat into the ring, so to speak, for that job.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
The thing that concerns me is Rory seems to be taking on the Tiger persona here lately of the fierce, intense competitor on the golf course, and that's really not Rory either, you know. But
I wouldn't say so much personally. I think he's still maybe he's just hardened himself slightly because he did have the problem with losing leads, and when he was getting down, he was not fighting to progress, and maybe he just taken a little bit of edge, and you know, I think rather than he's not so guarded, he's still very open and still answers questions and it's very good value for everybody. So I think he's a very different character and very different background from Tiger. So I don't think we'll see it go that way.
But is he starting to put maybe a little too much pressure on himself because he is #1 now again? You know, the I've got to make this putt and I've got to, you know. That's just a question I'm throwing out there. I don't have an opinion.
I think the time will tell on that one, but 1 week where he doesn't win can't be.
Well, I'm not. You know, I didn't really expect him to win at the Barclays. I thought that you know three tournaments in a row where you're in the lead and under that excruciating pressure. I thought, well, this might be a good week for him to not have a good week, you know, and he didn't. And he didn't have a bad week, but he didn't have a great week either.
No, and that's the thing with Rory now. His average weeks are still in the top 20 or top 30, you know, and that's why he is the #1 player in the world, because when he's just off, he can still either contend for a top finish or make the cut and do okay. So it was an average week really for him, but
well, you know, as you're kind of easing into the Barclays conversation, you know, Ridgewood Country Club, the greens there are monsters. I mean, they I don't know if you watched the tournament or not, but you know, 3-foot putts were knee knockers at times because of the little humps and wavy things in the green that was causing them to be that way. And
yeah, I mean, it's a very old style golf course, isn't it? So
yeah,
that's the thing. It was great to see a golf course like that on the tour, and there should be more of those sort of courses around the world.
Yeah, I think that it wasn't just Rory having trouble with the greens. There was a lot of people. Phil couldn't find his way on the greens, and nobody was really confident with the 3-foot putt. No. You know.
Well, Hunter Mahan, he pops up from time to time and wins a huge event, and he's done it right at the right time this time, and it's just at the end of a good 3-week stint for him as well.
Well, I had written a story last week about the Ryder Cup and my 3 picks for the Ryder Cup didn't include Hunter Mahan, but somebody challenged me on it on the golf community and about Hunter Mahan, and I said, well, if I'd had 4 picks like Team Mural has, I said Hunter Mahan would have made the team. But now I think Hunter Mahan's an excellent selection. He's playing well. He's very good at match play competition, and I think he needs to be on the team now that he's won this tournament.
I think so, and you only have to look at the way he performed in 2008 in the Ryder Cup. Forget 2010. He was in the match all the way to the end. It was one bad shot. After a very good putt by Graham McDowell, the atmosphere was electric. He made one mistake. It didn't cost the United States the Ryder Cup. Graham McDowell won that Ryder Cup for Europe. So, and Hunter Mahan's won WGCs and big tournaments. And right now, I mean, that field had 74 world ranking points for the winner. That was one of the strongest fields of the year, and he won with a very good round on Sunday. So I think he certainly should be selected, especially now with Jason Duffner withdrawing for the rest of the year. That is a big blow to the Americans, and Hunter Mahan's form is good for them.
Well, after I've been kind of out in the last couple of days, so I knew Duffner had withdrawn from the tournament this week and from play for the rest of the year, but I wasn't sure that included the Ryder Cup, and I mean, if he's in pain, I wish he would go ahead and say something now and let him go ahead.
I think I just saw on the Bleacher Report that he was withdrawing from the rest of the year. Now, surely if you're withdrawing from the rest of the year, you're not fit enough to play 5 matches. There's no way he could be selected.
Well, then that pushes the number 10 person up into the mix. Then, and I've forgotten now who was number 10.
Did Duffner qualify automatically?
Yeah, he was in the top. He was in the. I think he was. Actually 7th or 8th, something like that.
Right. So, well, if that is the case, that's. It certainly changes the dynamic, really, doesn't it, of the American team slightly?
Well, do they automatically move the number 10 person into the 9 position like they did when Dustin Johnson, was deemed not going to play?
Well, you would imagine so, definitely. I would have thought that was the case.
Yeah.
I'll just check.
I'll have to look at the RyderCup.com just to take a look at that and see what they've done, if they've actually, taken into account that maybe Duffner's not going to play.
Yeah, well, I think I'm just checking now, but I think it'll be interesting to see who will replace him if he has indeed.
Well, who's number 10 on the list?
Well, see, he's not in the top 10.
He's not.
No.
I thought he was.
No, he isn't. So I don't think he qualified automatically, which means that obviously the 9 as they are qualify. They're in the team, and that means that Tom Watson's got one less star to choose.
One less headache too.
Well, yes, yeah, I think I would agree. He finished number 10. So he missed out by 1.
Oh, so he was 1 shy anyway. So.
And after Jason Duffner, you've got Ryan Moore and Brendan Todd, which doesn't really feel. If I was an American, I wouldn't exactly be confident selecting those 2.
No, but I'd take Brendan Todd.
So obviously, Hunter Mahan coming through with the win in America, the first FedEx Cup event, and as we discussed last week, he jumped straight to number 1. He's had 3 good weeks all year, almost, and he's had 1 win, and he's top of the FedEx Cup.
There you go. That's what we like about it. That's why it makes it a little exciting,
Yeah, it does, but it doesn't reward the majors, and everybody's been going on about the majors being the number one thing in golf, and somebody can win two of them and not be top of the standings.
Well,
I don't think that's.
if we were going to go into the FedEx Cup playoffs with Rory having a huge advantage because he won two majors, the FedEx Cup wouldn't be much fun now, would it? I mean, there's definitely more excitement in there now.
There's two ways of looking at it, isn't there? But I think it's going to be exciting, and to see hopefully this week in the Deutsche Bank, Rory has a past winner there, can bounce back, and you can have players in the mix each week and get to Atlanta and be exciting.
And Stenson won there last year.
Yeah, so
he could jump. I mean, I had written this morning that Stenson is, I think, 66th on the list right now, so he could stand a really good outing this week. I mean, he had it going last week, and then he shot the 77 on Saturday, and that kind of took him out of the picture. He was.
Well, he can do that from time to time, can't he? But I think he's certainly in with a shot here this week as defending champion, and
yeah,
he's in good form. He played well at the PGA. He could have won that, and he's coming into the time of year where he played well last year, and obviously FedEx Cup champion as well. So we'll see. But it would be good if he could continue this form with the Ryder Cup coming up. So Deutsche Bank, another good field, another strong field, but the golf course, obviously a TPC golf course, but it's undergone quite a lot of changes in the last few years and doesn't have that TPC sort of feel, I don't think.
Well, Arnold Palmer originally designed the course, and then Gil Hanse and Brad Faxon came in and redid it, 2007, something like that. And I don't know. I'm just curious to see it this weekend how well it goes. The tournament actually starts on Friday because of our Labor Day weekend here, and actually gives us something to watch on Sunday after all the fireworks are over.
Yeah. Well, it will be. It's good, and that's why the Ryder Cup announcement is next Tuesday.
Yes.
And obviously, last week in Europe, the Czech Masters, which wouldn't usually get any attention from me, but Jamie Donaldson, his third win on the European Tour, another really good week from him, and when he needed the good round in the final round, he produced it.
And he's played. Jamie Donaldson's played well for 2 years now, so it's good that he gets rewarded something. I thought that was a pretty good battle between him and Bradley Dedge, though.
Yeah, Bradley Dedge has come from sort of nowhere. He won the European Masters a long time ago, and he was a middle-ranking European Tour player. But then he lost his way, he lost his card. But the last couple of weeks in Denmark last week, he could have won, and this week he really had a good chance. But Jamie Donaldson becomes the first Welshman since Ian Woosnam in '97 to make the European Ryder Cup team, and it's great because he has played really consistently for the last 2 years.
Yeah, he has. He's played pretty good for the last 2 years. At least I thought he has. Didn't he win something?
He won in Abu Dhabi last year.
Yeah, that's right.
And defeated Tiger, Rory, Phil. In the desert there, and that was his biggest win after his first win at Portrush in the Irish Open.
Yeah,
and obviously now the Czech Masters, and he's given he's certainly given Paul McGinley a headache. Let's say that you can't leave him off, even if he just missed. He had to be picked because of his form, and now we have a situation which I think is absolutely crazy. By the way, this week the Deutsche Bank does not count for the European Ryder Cup team.
Well, you get 4 captains picks, don't you?
No, we get 3. It's the same as America.
I thought.
No, it's because it's top 4 from the world points list, top 4 from the European points list, sorry, and top 5 from the world points list. And there's 3 picks, and the Deutsche Bank doesn't count for the Ryder Cup points. So you've got a situation where Luke Donald, Lee Westwood didn't qualify, but Luke Donald, Lee and Poulter could have overtaken Graham McDowell, but they can't now because the event doesn't mean anything in terms of Ryder Cup. So Graham McDowell is under threat from Stephen Gallagher, who's playing in the Italian Open. He has to win or come second in the Italian Open. And if he does that, he will overtake Graham McDowell and qualify, leaving an almighty headache for McGinley.
Well, Graham McDowell has withdrawn from this tournament this week because of his child being born. You knew that, right?
He had the freedom. No, I didn't realize that, but he had the freedom to do that because he can't score any points anyway.
Right, and I'm not sure. After what I seen from Stephen Gallagher back at in Dubai last spring, he played pretty well there. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, and he played right along with the Tiger and Rory, and he pounded him drive for drive out there. I mean, he played pretty well, you know.
Oh, he played superbly, and he's won that twice in a row now, and obviously the expectation for Scotland, he's the only player with a chance of doing it. We need a Scot on the team, and he's got to win. I mean, essentially, he has to win the tournament.
Well, I think he's. I personally think that Stephen Gallagher is a better pick right now than Graham McDowell, because I think Graham McDowell he's not having a really great year. I think married life and the coming of a child, I think he's just been too busy to play golf.
Yeah, but he has to be on the team. There's no, in my mind, there's no doubt. He's a grinder. He's a match play winner.
I understand that, but he just isn't in it this year. I mean,
the problem McGinley has, regardless, actually, the problem McGinley has is there's 5 players. There's McDowell, there's Gallagher, there's Luke Donald, there's Ian Poulter, there's Lee Westwood. 4 of those players have to be on the team. Now, if McDowell doesn't qualify and Gallagher does, that means you've got 4 players who are Ryder Cup through and through. They contributed so much to the European team, and one of them has to stay at home. And it's difficult to say which one. I think Luke Donald possibly is.
Well, Luke Donald is needs to either play well this week or he's not going to make Cherry Hills.
Yeah,
he's down pretty far in the point standings, and I'm not sure that right now that Lee Westwood wouldn't be a better pick.
Well, I think you have to go with some experience, don't you? And then Lee Westwood.
and Westwood's always been a good Ryder Cup team player, and he's playing a little bit better now than he has been, but I just think his experience and Luke Donald isn't doing anything for me this year. I mean,
no, he's not.
He's going through a swing change, and obviously it's worked for Ricky Fowler, but it isn't working for Luke Donald, you know.
And then Ian Poulter. I mean, to me, the 3 picks as we stand, if Stephen Gallagher can come through, win, McDowell, Poulter, and Westwood. But
I think you got to have Ian. I think you got to have Ian Poulter on the team.
If Gallagher doesn't win in Italy, that leaves McGinley with the choice of picking a Scot for the team, who's played well for the whole year, who's just outside the spots, or going with 3 tried and tested players.
Well, I think that's a tough
one.
It's a tough one, but I personally think Ian Poulter needs to be on your team.
Yeah,
he's a spark plug. He's an excellent match play player. I think the guy that I'd have to leave out would be Luke Donald right now.
Yeah, I think so, and it's unfortunate really that the Deutsche Bank doesn't count for the World Points List, because that's what the World Points List was designed to do, was allow our players to play in America and not lose out. And it seems that this week's slightly unfair that they are.
Well, something I don't understand is the Ryder Cup is an every 2-year event. Why don't people get points for the 2 years going in and not just the year before going in?
Well, they used to do that in the American team, and I think they
Yes.
realised that players were scoring points early in the first 2 year in the 2 year process, and qualifying for the team, and then it came to the matches, and they were 6 months they'd not done anything. You know, so I think the European team has always been traditionally it started the European Masters in the previous September, and then finished at the BMW Open in Germany in August. But tournaments have changed, and this time it started at Celtic Manor last September. So it's always been a year-long process for Europe. It's just the complication with the players playing all over the world. So, but going to be another really exciting week this week. I think Deutsche Bank finishing on a Monday is a good thing. It's a different thing, and it's always exciting finish at that tournament, isn't it?
Well, it's a holiday for us, so it gives us something to watch.
Well, the golf fans something to watch.
Yeah. Well, all the football. This will be the first full week for college football here. So, but that'll all be over with by Monday, and it'll just be golf.
Yeah.
NASCAR will be done with, because they run Sunday, and unless the race runs into a rain delay or something. Whoop. That's my alarm to tell me that for the 5 o'clock tea time. I have alarms set everywhere to remind me of stuff, or I'll forget.
Oh dear. So just to say that the latest edition of St Andrews Golf Magazine is now online. We do have a couple of interesting features this month, including one on emigrating St Andrews-based professionals over 100 years ago. They went over to America and settled at country clubs and golf clubs across the Northeast, and then leading to the establishment of the PGA of America. And we'll have a feature next month on the Radisson Hotel where the first meeting of the PGA was. And next month we'll also be focusing heavily on the Ryder Cup, Junior Ryder Cup as well, and the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship, and the World Hickory Open, which is a tournament played in what's something called Carnoustie country, which is over by Carnoustie Golf Links. And it's played with hickory clubs and gutty percher balls, and it's been going for 10 years, and you get a field of players from all over the world, and there's a lot of very good players playing it as well. So we're official media partner of that tournament, so we'll be covering it quite extensively. And just to say, next week's hangout will be entirely, as if this one hasn't actually, but it will be entirely dedicated to the Ryder Cup. We'll be talking about Paul McGinley's decisions, which are made early on the Tuesday morning, and then we're scheduling the hangout next week for 5 o'clock US time, 10 p.m. in the UK, because at 11 p.m. there's a preview show to the announcement on the Golf Channel, and then at midnight, which is 7 p.m. Eastern time, NBC are doing a live special announcing your team. So it should be a big event.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's been a great week and a good conversation again, Les, and we'll see you again next week as we get closer to the Ryder Cup.
All right, Matt. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Cheers.